I have recently hit 2,000 subscribers, and that's crazy saying it because it just felt like yesterday when I hit 1,000 earlier this year. Like, it hasn't been that long. So it's crazy to think that now I'm double that number, and it's still climbing at a faster rate than it's ever had before. So to celebrate, I reached out to all of you guys through YouTube, my Discord, the IGNITOR SMP Discord, and asked if you had any questions about anything, so I could answer them right now. Well, boy, did you have questions, or should I say, did Dark have questions? So yeah, let's just head straight into the questions because this video is going to be really long if we don't hurry up and get into it. So I didn't know what to put in the background while answering these questions, so I decided to just go netherite mining. It's always good to have extra netherite. I had a shulker box of TNT ready to just go until I ran out of TNT, and hopefully the recording ended up being long enough where I can finish all the questions before it ends. The first question comes from Gaming Propaganda. Did anyone inspire you to be a YouTuber, or did you just one day start uploading on random? I thought this was a cool question to start off with. A couple other people asked the same sort of question, so I'll just answer them all at the same time. So how it actually started, all of the videos are unlisted now, but how it started was, I think 2020. During the COVID years, not because of COVID, but it was just happened to be during those years, I got Minecraft Java Edition for the first time. I got this account, that I'm still using now, and I started playing Hypixel Bed Wars because that's what I saw all the YouTubers were doing at the time, or at least the YouTubers I watched. So I played, and then I think it was my mum actually, she suggested YouTube channel, and I was like, that sounds like a good idea. I think I was like, how old was I? That was 5 years ago, 13 at the time, just old enough to do YouTube. And so I made a channel. It was called Ultra X77 at the time. Changed my Minecraft username to that. And yeah, I mean, I started making Bed Wars montages. They didn't get many views. I also made some just normal, classic Bed Wars videos where you just talk about what you're doing while you're doing it, kind of. But yeah, that didn't get very many views, and eventually I decided to start Let's Plays, and then eventually rebranded to Cubecly, and now we're here. So no one really inspired me to do it, except, like, no YouTuber inspired me. It was just kind of a random mention from my mum, and yeah, now I'm here. Next question by MasterBricks YouTube. This was also asked by a couple other people. How did you get invited onto IGNITOR? The thing is, IGNITOR is mostly an application server. At least when I joined, they weren't really looking, and we still don't really actively look for people. It just kind of happens. Like, if we see someone who we think might work, we will ask them, but we don't actively try to look for people to join the server for the most part. So that was the same when I joined. It was ages ago. I made my first application ages ago, like it was a long time. But it got denied. It was still in my Ultra X77 time period, I guess. It was obviously denied because I didn't have much content. I applied a few more times and eventually got in. So it's not an invite, and so it's not an invite. I just kind of found IGNITOR SMP and applied multiple times before I got in. But how did I find IGNITOR SMP, I think, is more of the question. I think it was on Reddit. I was looking on Reddit for YouTuber servers to join, or creator servers to join, and there was an ad there, so I clicked it and found it. Super exciting story, I know. Again from Gaming Propaganda, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a really weird question, because YouTube is the first thing I want to do. This is genuinely something I really like doing and want to do for a career. But many of you know YouTube is very luck based. Some people might say, of course, you can blow up by doing certain things, or you can increase the odds of you succeeding by doing certain things, but getting big enough to support yourself, use YouTube to support yourself as a full-time job, it's not the easiest thing to do. You either have to spend a long time slowly building up an audience, or you get lucky, and you also, it's not entirely luck, so you have to get lucky and then also, you know, utilize that luck well. If you blow up but then don't post anything good for the next, like, ever, that your minute of fame will run out. So the thing about YouTube is that you not only have to be lucky, but you also have to be prepared for when you are lucky and make the most of it. So it's kind of an unpredictable thing, which makes predicting where I will be in 5 years very difficult, because the plan is right now to get another job. Obviously, I have recently got a cabinet making apprenticeship, which, if you don't know, is like woodworking with furniture and stuff. And that will go for 4 years. So that's probably what I'm going to do for the next 4 years. And after that, if YouTube still hasn't taken off, I'll continue doing it on the side while doing cabinet making as a full-time job. But if YouTube works out, that's obviously my first choice. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to say where I see myself. I hope I see myself doing YouTube. But I mean, I enjoy cabinet making as well. It's just like that's the second best thing, I guess. I like the creative side of cabinet making, building things, designing and making things with, you know, just designing and creating things is, I guess, what I enjoy. Okay, moving on. I don't know how to pronounce this name, so I apologize if I get it wrong. Cesar Nikolai II. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is Vista Blue. No, I'm just joking, it's orange. What is your favorite build you have built from 6 Pro up 4? That's an interesting question, because I've done a lot of builds. I don't know if it counts as a small build, like does Stardust count as one big one? But if you want to count just individual small builds, I think my favorite build, surprisingly, is one I did a long time ago. This one here. I think it's just so nice. It's like, the proportions are all just really nice. I don't know what I like about it. It's just nice. I don't know. Next one, 0 hours. What motivates you to go above and beyond with your videos? Your creativity is something to be admired. First of all, I really appreciate that. That's really what I aim to do with YouTube. It's like, I mean, I guess this is kind of the reason why I do it, like, or what motivates you. Like, I don't want to do... First of all, it's good for YouTube. Like, if you make a video about something really unique, weird, out there, kind of like not something anyone else does, it's more likely to do well because people haven't seen it before. But the other thing is, it's just more fun to make. Like, why make something that everybody else has done a million times? And of course I do that. I do make things that other people have done a million times, but I don't do it. I don't just do it as it is, right? I always like try to put some twist on it that makes it different. Put some of my own creativity into it, right? It's like nobody wants to do the boring stuff. Nobody wants to watch the boring stuff, so may as well, why do the boring stuff, you know? From Deep Breeze, how do you survive in Australia? Is it because you never go outside and touch grass? It definitely, I mean, I'm not denying that it helps not going outside. Like, I generally stay indoors, which definitely helps, but Australia really isn't that dangerous. The stereotype is that there's spiders and snakes everywhere and they're all very dangerous. And yes, that may be true that our wildlife may be generally more venomous and dangerous to humans than most other countries, but you don't see as much, like that much of it. Like the last time I saw a snake in the wild, I didn't even really see the snake. Like, I don't remember the last time. I've never seen a snake out in the wild. I've known a snake was in an area. Like, I've definitely heard the snake, a snake a couple times, and known or been told that there's a snake in this area. Someone else seeing it and telling me. Like, but I've never seen a snake personally. In the wild. I've definitely seen them in zoos and stuff. And spiders, I guess, if you have arachnophobia, maybe skip forward a minute or so, because I'm going to show some pictures on the screen. The most venomous, or well, the most dangerous and common ones we have are probably, or in my area, I don't know, I haven't searched this up or anything, but in general, I think the redback is the most dangerous that is common enough to be everywhere. I've definitely seen spiders or redbacks around the place. But we also have one called the huntsman, and this one might look dangerous, but it really is completely harmless to humans. It does have venom, but it just doesn't affect humans. So we've had these ones are really fun, because if you aren't scared of them, you can capture them in like a jar, give them like some, you know, sticks and dirt and some wild stuff or like outside stuff to put in the jar, and then also feed them cockroaches, so it's pretty fun. Or like feed them, you know, just other insects. They'll you can watch them catch, like you can throw the insect into the jar and watch them catch them and eat them. So we've definitely done that a couple times, you know, kept them in a jar for a while. It's really fun. Like they're pretty cool if you really think about it. They're not dangerous at all, but you know, that's the common stuff. That's kind of not what the question was anymore, but you know, the most likely thing you're gonna die from in Australia if you come from another country is the heat, because very likely you're coming to Australia in the summer, because that's the best time to experience the like proper Australia, I guess, or the classic stereotypical Australia at least. And if you come from a relatively cold country, it can genuinely be dangerous if you aren't prepared for the heat. For example, it's still spring, and a couple weeks ago we hit 35 degrees Celsius. I'll put the equivalent as in Fahrenheit on the screen, but it hit 35 degrees Celsius just after winter, so that's great. And as well as that, the UV, and it can hit over 40 degrees in the middle of summer. It hit like 42, 43, 44 last year, and I don't know what it's going to hit this year, but hopefully it's not bad. I don't know. And as well as that, the UV is ridiculous here. So that's also something that won't kill you, I don't think, at least not directly, but it will definitely be bad. So yeah, the heat is definitely the most dangerous thing in Australia, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Next up, Deep Freeze again. Are oranges also your favorite fruit in real life? Well, they're definitely up there. They're not my favorite fruit, but they are definitely way up in the top 5, top 3 maybe. Beaten by maybe the watermelon, mangoes, and I'm probably blanking on some really good one, because I remember there being some niche one that I liked. I don't remember, but they're definitely up there. The next up, we have a whole string of questions from Dark. He really asked basically like 90% of the questions in this video, so I'm gonna try to go through these as quick as possible if they're like short answer questions. You know, let's just get into it. When can we play Stardust? When I'm done with it. What part of content creation do you enjoy most? Building, storytelling, editing, or interacting with viewers? I mean, it's hard to pick a specific one. I like it because I like all of it. I like the editing, I like the building, I like the story. It's like the way you can do, I guess it's like the way you can do all of the parts. It's the fact that I can do all of the parts, right? If I make a movie, for example, or if I'm working on a feature film for Marvel or something, it's not the same because I can only really focus on what the part that I was hired for, like the costume design, for example, or the set design, or the, I don't know, the VFX and stuff. You can only really focus on one, but with this, you can do all of it. Then that's kind of, I like the fact that I am in control of everything, and I can do things exactly how I want to do them. It can also come at a cost sometimes. Sometimes you just feel like the building side of things, when you know you really need to get some editing done for your next video, it's really a double-edged sword, but the fact that I can do all of them is, I think, the best part. I know that's not a satisfying answer, but that's the answer I have. If you could collaborate with any Minecraft creator in the world, who would it be and what would you want to do together? This is a great question because I have no idea. There are so many people I want to collaborate with if I had the chance. All of the hermits, especially Mumbo, Zedaf. I would love to do something with Zedaf. That would be incredible. I don't know. There's just so many people I want to do a collab with. Like, even not in the Minecraft space. Just someone, I don't know, just everyone, I guess. But if I had to give a specific answer, maybe Zedaf. And some really dumb thing that we can just overdo, like overproduce some really simple, stupid idea. That would be the best, I think. What's something about running a Minecraft channel that people might not realize is actually a lot of work? Again, kind of building on the answer to a previous question, it's kind of doing all of them all the time, right? For every single video, you have to be the one to do the planning, the building, the recording, the editing, the thumbnails, the uploading, like the description, and like just all of it all the time. As I said, you're not always going to feel like doing every single part, right? There's almost never going to be a video where you're excited for every single part of the production. Like with the IGNITOR videos, usually the worst part is editing, because it's the least fun. Like it's the most repetitive video to make. The editing is, generally speaking, already planned out. Like, it's not exciting editing that you're doing. Of course, I love doing the intros and outros. I think they're really fun to make, but the middle section of the editing, between the start and the end, is really repetitive. It's really just the same thing over and over again. There's not much you can do unless there's some outlying part. But you know, that's kind of the idea. Like, doing everything all the time. Every part of it, the fact that you even if you enjoy all the parts like I do, the fact that you have to do every single part for every single video you make, unless you hire someone to do it, obviously, is extremely, it's the worst. I think it's the worst part, but it's, you know, again, it's a double-edged sword. You get to do all of them, but you have to do all of them. Are there any parts of background or family life that inspire your creativity or the way you tell stories? I don't know. I couldn't give you an example right now. I really should. If I get creativity from, it's just like, I guess, everything. That's like, if I watch a video on YouTube that, I know this isn't really family life, but you like, this is an example. If I watch a YouTube video that I really like the editing of, that will inspire my next few videos. If I don't realize it, it will indirectly inspire like the pacing or the style of my next video, even just slightly. If something happens, if I see it's something in real, like a building that looks really cool in real life, that will always maybe inspire the next type of that build I like. Like, it's always indirect. I never thought about where I get the stuff from, I guess. And maybe that's something I need to do more, because or maybe not. Maybe it's good to not know. I don't know. But I guess everyone's life experiences will affect everything they do. That's kind of the point of life, right? this just got weirdly deep. I really don't know where I get the inspiration from. At least in the real world, I guess. Do you find that your school friends know about your channel, or do you keep that world separate? I know a lot of people like to keep it separate, but I personally keep, like everybody though. I think everybody, I think the most well known in the school for the person who does Minecraft videos. Not meant, like if someone had to know one thing about me, that would be the one thing they knew about me. Like, I wouldn't tell them, but at some point, I think the news got out, and now the people who used to know now told other people in, like, you know, I guess one of the major parts of it spreading through my school that I do YouTube is that for a lot of my assignments, I would make videos to be the submission. Like in English, for example, I have made a whole bunch of videos, one in Minecraft, others just, you know, not in Minecraft, but the video production would always be really high because, or at least compared to the other videos people create. So people would always wonder, especially teachers, they would always be like, how do you know all that? And I mean, what other option am I supposed to give them except I do YouTube? Like, that's the reason I'm good at it. That's the reason I'm good at making videos, is because I do YouTube. And then some teachers would be, you know, get super excited about it because I would show them my channel, and they would get curious. I would show them my channel, and then they would be like, wow, this is incredible, and then show it to every single person they know. It's like, yeah, I mean, like, it just kind of happens. Like, I'm not trying to hide it, so I don't have to. Like, why hide something that's such a big part of your identity? Have you received any fan messages or comments that really stuck with you? It's hard to point out specifics. I used to have a couple that I would always refer to when asked this kind of question, but now it's been so incredible that, like, this is kind of, I don't know, that any person that I don't know in real life or from IGNITOR or something that will consistently comment on multiple of my videos is always, I think, a standout, because that shows that they really do like your stuff. Not just saying, wow, what a good video, and then never coming back to your channel again. They actually consistently will watch your videos because they do think you create stuff they like watching. Those always stand out. I can't point out specifics. There's been quite a few people who've done that, and it's really good. It's really cool. And also people who specifically reach out. I've had a couple people reach out for advice for starting YouTube. It shows that, you know, they think you are good enough where your advice would be worth them, you know, reaching out through Discord, sending like a message request to get your advice. Like, I think that shows that you've actually done something for someone to, you know, trust you enough to do that. Do you see yourself doing content creation long term, or is it something you're exploring for fun right now? As I said in the previous question, it's something I want to do long term. I'm not going to elaborate because I want to get through these questions. There's so many. If you could add one new mob or block to Minecraft, what would it be and why? Mob or block? I don't know. Everything I want in Minecraft isn't a mob or a block. Like, everything I want in Minecraft isn't a mob or a block. It's kind of, I guess, like, the biggest thing, a bigger inventory. I know a bunch of survival players want a bigger inventory. Or, like, you know, survival players in the same vein as what I do, like big builds and stuff. They want a bigger inventory. And I would massively appreciate a bigger inventory. But when it comes to block or mob, I've always been a fan of variants in Minecraft. So that's why I was happy when they added the variants of mobs, like the variants of cows, sheep, and chicken. Not sheep, pigs and chicken. They added variants of dogs, or wolves, which I really liked. So I guess more variants to really make each biome feel like its own ecosystem almost, I guess. And variants of blocks. right now, it's, I guess, one thing that I really want is obviously vertical slabs, but that's not a single block. But that's kind of what I really want. Like, smooth stone has a full block, a slab, no stairs, no walls. Why? Dark prismarine has like stairs, slabs, but no walls. Like, those are the things I kind of want in Minecraft. The things that fill the gaps and make the game feel more complete. Because a lot of the things and features feel like it was a game made ages ago, or in 2010 and stuff. So there really isn't a feature that I want added. It's kind of expanding on existing features. What do you think makes Minecraft different from the other games that you like to play? I mean, Minecraft just in general from other games, it's just, you can do anything. Like, it's really, is it a game or is it a simulation? Like, is it like a, is it just an open, I guess, sandbox to do whatever you want? It's just, it feels like it's almost sometimes it's a game engine for when I'm making mini games. Sometimes it's a 3D modeling software when I'm building cool builds and stuff. Sometimes it is a game when I'm playing. I guess sometimes it's like a game library when I'm playing other people's mini games, like on MCC Island or other. You know, it's sometimes it's a method of collaboration and communication. Like when you're on a server talking to other people, it's sort of just like, you know, like what the metaverse was supposed to be. I just think it's more than just a game. Like, you can do whatever, and that's the obvious answer, but that really is all there is to why Minecraft, I think, has lasted so long. What goals do you have for your channel over the next year? Growth, obviously, like more people, more people watching the videos, more everything is always good. As you know, it took over 4 years to get from 0 to 1,000. It took half a year to get 1,000 to 2,000. So hopefully this growth continues, but also just to improve what I do and spend more time, because now I'm actually, I don't know, it's just general growth. I don't have a goal for subscribers because I know people do, but I don't, because subscribers really isn't a metric anymore. I know this video is literally a 2,000 subscriber special. I'll obviously celebrate the milestones, but it really isn't what you need. Like, you can be really successful without a lot of subscribers. I don't know, it really isn't a specific metric I'm measuring off of it, because metrics are kind of arbitrary. I just want to make better videos, get more, I guess, subscribers, like viewers, build a bigger community, and just hopefully turn this into something big. How do you manage your time between schoolwork, friends, and making Minecraft content? The honest answer, I don't. I don't really manage it, because, I don't know, this might be just me, it probably is just me, but I've never really struggled with what I need to do in school. The things I enjoy, I'll obviously do better at because I enjoy doing it, but things I don't enjoy as much, like maths, I've always just been good at maths, like good enough, and good enough to pass and get what I need, or most of the time more than pass, but you know, good enough to succeed at what I'm doing and not have to worry about it too much. Maybe that's a bad thing for later on, but for now, that means I can spend more of my mind thinking about YouTube and the stuff I do enjoy making. And I've technically, by the time you're seeing this, I've probably just done. So by the time I'm recording this at on the 5th of November, on the Wednesday, and I have my final exam for Year 12 on Thursday, so tomorrow, and I'm recording it early because I'm leaving tomorrow for overseas for a holiday after my exam. It's very tight schedule, but I'm leaving like the day after my exam, and so I can't record it while I'm away. So I'm pre-recording this so that when I do hit 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, it will be out. I'm currently at 1998, so if things work out, I might even hit 2000 before I leave. But I want to get this ready. So by the time you're seeing this, I'm probably finished my exam. So I don't have school anymore. So I don't have to balance school anymore. But, you know, that's kind of what's coming up. What I have been doing is, as I explained, not really much, because I think I've been good enough. It's just been relatively easy for me to keep up with school, and so I can focus more on YouTube. What do your teachers or classmates think about your channel? Do they know about it? Yes, they do. Especially my English class. I made a video for a film study, just talking about the movie, and it got an A+ because it was a very good film study. I also like, you know, doing those. But, you know, like, they were like, especially my teacher was like, wow, that was a good film study. What were you, and how did you make it? And I'm like, well, I do YouTube, so I'm very good at making videos. And they're like, wow. And now that everybody knows about my YouTube channel, it's a whole thing. And it's happened before with other teachers. I know in year 10, my history teacher saw I did like a Minecraft kind of documentary kind of thing for breaking down the Chinese communist history kind of a video, and that my history teacher liked it so much that he ended up sharing it with every single other teacher in the school. So that was a thing where I went around and just every teacher saw me and was like, wow, nice video, by the way. I think YouTube has become common enough where people don't see it as a weird thing to do anymore. They still think it's not many people do it to the level that I am, but it's normal enough where if you say you're doing it, they're not gonna think you're weird. You know, they're just gonna think that you're doing it. So at least in my school they do. I don't know about other places. I think it's a cool place to be, where people know what you're doing and you don't have to hide anything from anyone. What's something you've learned about yourself through making videos and being online? I think the biggest thing is how to handle people online. People will hate you for apparently no particular reason. Other people will think you're the best creator in the world. And you gotta kind of walk that line where you have to recognize when something is someone is just hating you for no reason, and kind of know that they are and not take anything they say to heart. Like, I've become really good at, I think, at least personally, I think I've become really good at figuring out what criticism is actually important and ignoring the rest. You have to generally ignore everything unless you know it's important. So if I think it's not only a good thing online, it's also a good thing in real life, because it's the same in real life. People are not everybody's gonna like what you do, so you kind of gotta know when someone is just hating you for no reason and when someone is genuinely trying to help you. Why are you orange? Why is the sky blue? Why is your mouth always open? What's it like living in your part of the world? I mean, normal, because I've lived here my whole life. Like, it's always weird thinking about what it's like living in another place, but when you do live in another place for your entire life, it's just normal. Right? Obviously it's hot. That's one thing that is still, I guess, that's one thing that I guess I could say, but it's just a normal life. I'm sure if I moved somewhere else in the world, it would be weird, but once I got used to it, it'd just be normal, right? Like, if you moved over here, it would of course be weird for a while, but eventually it's just most things are just gonna become normal. If you've lived in Australia your entire life, it would just be normal to live here. So I don't really know. Until I can move somewhere else and compare the difference, it's just going to be normal to me. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. What is it about Minecraft that first enticed you to play, and what is it that keeps you playing today? Well, Bed Wars is the first thing that I played on Java Edition, at least. I don't remember. I probably had some Creative Worlds in Pocket Edition when I went back when that was free, which was ages ago, like 2015, when I started playing Pocket Edition. But what keeps me playing today is the fact that it's like I can express my creativity in it. Like I can do anything. That's really all there is to it. Like, there's no other game that you can decide how you play the game as much as Minecraft does. So if you get bored of Minecraft, you're not going to get bored of everything Minecraft. You're going to get bored of one aspect of Minecraft. Right? Like, it's just such a flexible game. You can play however you want. Okay, out of the dark forest for now. See what I did there? The dark forest. That's such a stupid joke. Anyway, we're out of Dark's questions, at least for now. So it's errors. What's your favorite species of bird? That's a weird question. I've never really thought of what my favorite species of bird is. But if I had to choose one, I mean, kookaburra, I guess. It's cool name, cool thing it does. It looks really cool and adorable and stuff. I don't know. I like that one, I guess. Maybe a penguin. I don't know what penguin. I like the name penguin. They're cute. Okay, back with Dark again. Jelly or Jello? Jelly. I don't think anywhere else in the world calls it Jello, unless I'm wrong. Is it like I've always assumed it's a company called Jello, and that's what you called it. But at least here in Australia, everyone calls it jelly. Nobody says Jello. With other words that are like location based, I've heard people say it the other way here in Australia. I've just never heard anyone in Australia say Jello. What's your favourite sandwich? I don't have sandwiches very often, but I don't know. Ham and anything with cheese. I like cheese. Anything with cheese and meat. Like ham and cheese, I guess. I don't know. I don't have sandwiches very often. Why should anyone watch Aussie Rules Football? First of all, I don't think anyone in Australia spells Aussie with an O. I think that's just a thing that other people do. Everybody here spells it with an A. Anyway, that's besides the point. Aussie Rules Football. If you don't know what it is, Australian Rules Football is kind of a mix between every other sport in the world. Like, it's rugby with soccer, and kind of like I don't know. It's just a bunch of sports mixed together. It's rugby, soccer on a cricket pitch. Or cricket field. It's kind of crazy. So it's the 4th highest attended domestic sport in the world. It's the most highest attended per capita. It's like a game where you try to get the ball, which is like oval shaped, through big sticks on either side by kicking this special pass called handballing, and you stop the other team by tackling them. So it's I think if you want to go find out how the game works, I'll leave a link in the description to like a good video by the AFL of how the AFL works. But Australian Rules Football, I think everybody should at least try watching it. I personally think the reason that Dark probably asked this question is because I've hinted at multiple times in the private Discord of IGNITOR that I like watching Australian Rules Football. Or what we call it just footy or football in Australia. I think anyone can watch it because there is no point in the game except for the breaks in between quarters where there is nothing happening. For example, in cricket, there's just like most of the time there isn't much happening, and a lot of people get bored. In soccer, there are heaps of dead periods in the game where there's just like something could happen, but nothing is really happening. Like anytime you look over, there is something happening. The scoring is really high. The field is massive. The game is super fast paced. There is always some sort of action happening on the game. And if you watch any of the clips, it's a crazy game. Like it feels like there's no rules. You can jump on people's backs to use them as a springboard to catch the ball. or marking as they call it in the game. You can tackle people, you like, it's just a fast-paced action game. Like, you should probably go watch an actual game or some highlights of a game, and you'll find out pretty quickly why I think it's one of the best sports in the world. Anyway, what's your favorite board game? I don't play board games very often. I don't know, maybe Monopoly, I don't know. Favorite podcast? Maybe the Imp and Skiz podcast. I like that one. There's an AFL podcast called Dan Does Footy that I listen to. The Spawn Chunks, which I listen to when I've run out of other podcasts. I don't know. I guess the Imp and Skiz podcast is my go-to. Sandy Sparkle says, what modded Minecraft item or feature would you like added to vanilla Minecraft? Bigger inventory or backpacks or something would be great. Mr. Sir Green now. What has been your most favorite video you've made? That's a good question. I guess the Clash Royale video is probably my best video. Maybe, I don't know, I'm scrolling through my videos right now. I really don't know many that I would be that stand out too much. I guess the Clash Royale video, because it's probably my biggest project, my biggest completed project so far. The Heat Blackler says, what achievement in Minecraft are you most proud of and why? I think out of the completed projects, Clash Royale again. It's just a massive project that I was able to pull off in a much faster time frame than I thought I would be able to, and it's so much, it's genuinely a fun game to play. Who has inspired you? Mumbo and ZF are probably, I've mentioned them already, but they inspired me the most probably, and B-dubs as well. Pineapple pizza, yes or no? No. I don't think pineapple should go on pizza. Sweet is just not a taste that I think goes very well with a pizza. Back to Dark again, another small string of questions. Who is your favourite famous Australian? I mean, an easy answer would be Steve Irwin, right? But I don't know, I don't choose favourites most of the time. So I guess I'll just say Steve Irwin. Absolute legend. Call that a knife?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Have you ever hugged a koala? Yes, multiple times. Last time I was probably pretty young, maybe 10 years old or something. But yes, I have hugged a koala. How many countries have you visited? Not many. I'm gonna see if I can list them. I've been to China, Singapore, New Zealand, Malaysia, Indonesia. Have I been to Indonesia? No, I haven't been to Indonesia. 4. It's not many, but I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere in Australia, ages away from the next country, so it's not that surprising really if you think about it. What is your favourite place outside of Australia you've visited? I don't know. Maybe I think Malaysia. I went to Bali. That was pretty cool. But I haven't been overseas in so long. Again, I'm going overseas next week, so maybe my answer will probably change in a week or two. What's it like having Christmas in summer? Kind of the same answer as before. Pretty normal. Obviously I can imagine having Christmas in snow because that's kind of the stereotype, but it's just normal. I'll have to experience a Christmas in snow to find out, I guess. Have you ever seen snow? Yes. Contrary to popular belief, there is snow in Australia, and I just earlier this year, June or something, July, I went snowboarding in Victoria. What beverage do you always have by your side when you Minecraft? I'm gonna be honest here, I don't have a beverage. It's probably not good. I should probably have a drink next to me to stay hydrated, but I don't. Do you play any other video games? Yes, the main other video games I play, other than Minecraft, is Clash Royale and Marvel Rivals. I'll play sometimes. I really like that game. And I'll also play Peak, Content Warning with some other people when they want to play it. Do you do all your gaming on PC? or do you also play on a console or your phone? No console. I have a console. I have a Nintendo Switch that I never use, but I have it. But also, yes, I play on my phone. I play Clash on my phone. What happened to Ultra X77 or Lego RS? Lego RS was so long ago. It was the first username I put on my account before I made my YouTube channel. Lego, I just enjoyed Lego at the time when I was like some years old, and RS is my initials. Ultra X77, I rebranded. I didn't like the branding after a while. It sounded like one of those, you know, just one of those old old usernames, kind of like the ones where it's like XX something 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 XX, you know, like the capital X lowercase x underscore kind of names. It kind of felt like one of those. I didn't like it. I thought it was cool when I made it, but I don't like it anymore, so I rebranded to Cubecly. How did this skin evolution unfold? With a link to this all my previous skins. So here's the evolution of skins that I've had. Let's go down all the way to the bottom. This was my first skin. You can see I just took some random skin with fire hands off the internet and used it. I added the RS because, again, those are my initials. This was when Dream was really popular, so I decided to do that for some reason at some point. Caves and Clips update, yellow axolotl. Halloween, Christmas, normal skin, but with different face. This is where the face originated from, by the way. Tried a different skin, didn't like it. Cyberpunk, because I was doing something Cyberpunk related, I don't remember what it was. Then normal skin, it's normal skin. I tried a different skin, didn't like it. Wizard, I was doing some wizard related thing, doing some steampunk related thing. I think I was trying to create a series. I did this for some winter thing I was trying to do, like zombie apocalypse or something, I think it was. Back to this one. Oh my goodness, I don't like that face on my current skin. Jeez. This was when I rebranded to Cubecly. I really didn't like that face. This was for April Fool's one time. I don't remember what it was that for. This is my current skin. Look at that. I got Halloween skin with the... If I actually open this, it's got a Halloween thing on the back. There you go. This was during the Armadillo Wars, one of my IGNITOR SP episodes. Christmas. This one, I was just testing the entity texture features for invisible pixels, which obviously don't work in normal Minecraft, but work with the mod. I switched back to record a cinematic for something, for an autobiography I was writing for school about my YouTube channel. Pretty cool, I guess. It was for an English assignment. This was an elf skin that I did for an event I did with my friends a while ago. Real life friends. Not on YouTube, just as kind of an event that I did. And yeah, I went to this current skin that I have. What arena? Okay, back away from Dark for just one question. Jellycat6786. What arena are you in on Clash Royale? Okay, I don't wanna flex my Clash Royale stuff, but I'm gonna go through them. I'm gonna open my phone to just go through like everything Clash Royale. So if anyone ever asks me again, I can just point them to this video. So currently, I am in the second seasonal arena. So 11,500 trophies. But my peak in Trophy Road was 15,000. I made it two seasons ago. Ranked, I am currently at the bottom because I haven't played yet this month. But I have peaked at Grand Champion. Not quite Ultimate Champion, but getting pretty close. I made 9,000 trophies before they extended it to 10,000. I play P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam with Executioner Tornado. So kind of like a weird version of P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam. I'm also trying out this new not new, but like new to me, Royal Giant deck. And I want to play Minor Rocket because it sounds fun. Okay, back to Dark again. Neighbors or Home and Away. Don't watch TV. Don't watch either of those. Or don't watch TV shows generally. Don't watch either of those, so I couldn't give you an answer. You're building an RPG mega game on IGNITOR SMP. Do you have a passion for RPGs? If so, what is your favorite and why? No. I don't have a passion for RPGs. I've never played an RPG in my life. I just thought it would be cool to build one in Minecraft. I guess I played Terraria if you want to count that as an RPG, but not really. You're stranded on a desert island, and it will be months until you're rescued. What 3 albums do you make sure you have with you? The thing is, I don't listen to music very often, and when I do, I only really listen to one band called AJR, and I love AJR so much. I don't know, I just like their music. So probably their latest 3 albums, What No One's Thinking, OK Orchestra, and The Maybe Man. If What No One's Thinking doesn't count because it's an EP, I'll do their previous one before that, Neo Theatre. I couldn't even tell you other albums from other artists that I actually want to listen to or have listened to. I could maybe name a couple others. John Bellion, I've listened to his The Human Condition, but other than that, I don't know. I really am not cultured when it comes to music. I don't know. If you told me a song that was relatively popular, I couldn't tell you which artist wrote it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. What film have you watched the most number of times? That's an interesting question, because I really didn't watch many movies until not really recently, but relatively recently, in the last couple of years. But this is going to be a weird movie that I've watched a lot of times. Jojo Rabbit, I think, is the movie I've watched the most times. Only because I needed to watch it multiple times for a film study assignment in, I think, year 10. I really like the movie as well, so that did help me with watching it multiple times. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going to watch it. Such a good movie. And I think we've only got one more question. VidMC asks, aren't you glad you aren't a banana? Not if you keep making jokes like that. But yeah, that will just about do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I answered as many of your questions as well as I could. If there's more questions you have, you can feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll answer as many as I can as well. But yeah, thank you again so much for 2,000 subscribers. It's been an amazing journey. Anyway, hope you enjoyed again. If you did, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.